66, and you may hear an echo, and you may hear the puppy dog, and we're in my new studio space. It is not set up this way permanently, so just don't get attached. It's gonna change as things get moved in here. But I am in my new studio space, so welcome in to the first live for the new studio space, and welcome to Route 66 for May. So I see I've got Pat in the chat, and Annette, welcome into both of you. Annette says she can't stay long today, not well as long as she can, and maybe pop back in as the situation allows. Absolutely. I totally get it. I totally get it. I am trying to warm up as we speak. It's a little warm in here, or it's a little cold in here. Let me know if you're able to hear me. If you are struggling to hear me, let me know, because I have not played with all of my settings yet since I've moved, and I don't know how it's doing everything. Like, I don't. Oh, you know what? Let me make sure that it's even got the right microphone, if I can. Let's see. I believe it is, but we're gonna double check. It's one of those kinds of days, guys. It is one of those kinds of days. All right, I don't see any of those options for what I'm looking for. There we go. Yeah, it's not even showing my microphone. So there we go. My microphone light just came on, so it wasn't even on. I didn't even have the option. So bear with me. Let me see if I can set it now that it is that it is there. Let me see. I have not had a lot of chance to play with everything yet, and worst case scenario, I will move to a different microphone. Okay, Annette says she can see and hear me. Okay. Thank you, Pat. I hear you, just not very well. Thank you. I at least appreciate that. We are going to work on the sound quality too. Hey, Nanette, welcome in. Good morning to you as well. Good morning. So this month's block is the St. Louis Star, and I printed copies before we moved. Hey, Judy, good to see you. Good to see you. I printed copies, but I have not even cut them apart yet. So everything is all still in their original sizes. So I'm working on that. So if at any time that you cannot hear me, I can see the chat. So please make sure that you put something in the chat to let me know that my sound has died again, so that I can fix it. Okay? I definitely want to fix it and make sure you guys can properly hear me. I know, like on my app, my program that I use, it's not showing as strong as it should be, which kind of bugs the daylights out of me. But I didn't play around with that beforehand, so it is what it is. We're just gonna have to play with it and roll with it this time. So maybe by next time I'll have it a little bit better set up. This is not the permanent setup for the studio space anyway, so this will all be changing too. So I'm like, it's coming from across the room. It probably is. Let me do this. Let's go turn. Okay, I can't get the other one working right now, so I do apologize. It is what it is today. It's just gonna have to be as good as it can get. So I don't know what microphone it's actually using. Lost them, yeah. I was trying to see if I could make it a little bit better, and it did not work. I turned it off briefly to turn the other one on, and it wasn't picking up anything like it's supposed to. So I don't know what the deal is. I don't know. Let me see. Let me go check one other setting. Let's see. Let's see if that. No, that didn't make any changes either. So, yeah, no. I thought I would be able to activate this one to pick up audio, and it's not working right now, so we're just gonna have to deal with what sound the computer is picking up for me, and I don't know of a better way to fix it at the moment, so I'm very, very sorry. Let's see. Okay, got the dog to stop grooming, and I do think I will be able to get him to do a puppy cam. So it's not going to be today, but I do think I have a way to get him to agree to puppy cam, and you guys will be able to see him all the time too. Okay, so on this month's block, and I know this is way far away from the camera, this month's block you have 2 different pieces, just like we did in last month's paper piecing block. This is the only other paper piecing block there is in this. And let me actually, let's see, I will grab the pictures of what we're working on so you guys can see it. And, oh good, I can put it up out of the way. All right, let me resize it just a hair so it's not so big. There we go. All right, so the one that we're working on today is up in this corner, okay, up in this corner, and it is all 4 corners. So there's 4 of these. There was only 2 of the block that we did last month, but there's 4 of this one. Judy says that this one was easier than the previous block. I'm so hoping so. I am so hoping so. I needed something easy today, but, you know, we're just going to take it as it comes, right? So I do have all of my strips pre-cut for this, and I did go ahead and cut them down to the block sizes that they told you to cut to. So every month when you are working on this, you have strips that you were supposed to set aside for each block, and then you are going to have you're going to subcut those pieces into different sizes. And one of them you were cutting rectangles. Let me grab that one out. Okay, that's my C1. And then you cut squares, and then you cut the squares diagonally. So like it's done in an order. So let's see, 1, okay, and I do have everything pre-cut. I do. Alright, that's 2 and 3, and that was 4. Oh, this is definitely easier. Let's see, the squares, or the rectangles, are D2 and D3. I don't think I got these right. I don't know. We're going to see what I got. We are going to see what I got, guys. Because I got 3.5 by 3.5. Not 3.5 by 4.5. So we're going to see if I have enough. Yeah. It's going to be one of those days, guys. It's going to be one of those days. So how are you doing? Happy Saturday to you. I know I've been live for over 10 minutes now and really haven't even asked. So how are you guys doing today? Is it a good Saturday for you? What do you guys think so far of the new space? Aside from the technical difficulties that we're having, what do you guys think? Is it kind of what you're looking for? Is it kind of not? Let's see. Oh, that got somebody's attention. All right. Give the puppy a treat. Get him to behave for a minute. All right, so I'm going to take my C1. So you have C1 through C4 pieces, and then you have D1 through D3 pieces. And I can see how this would be easier, Judy. I agree with you. I agree with you. All right. So I'm just going to layer C1 on top of where it goes, and we are going to grab my ruler, and I'm going to go ahead and press. Hey, Chris, welcome in. Yes, it is much larger. I have a whole bunch of space that way that I'm not even touching. My space is gonna have to move down, and we're gonna go 180 degrees. So the wall that's behind me right now is not where it's gonna be permanently. I cannot do that. It's just not gonna work for me. So I'm gonna have to move everything, but I don't have everything set up either, so that's part of it as well. I didn't want to set things up until I know how much space my long arm needs, and that's gotta be first. So I'm hoping that I will have time this afternoon maybe to work on setting up the long arm some before I have to get ready for an event I've gotta go to, and we're gonna see what we can do. And I am gonna strip piece these. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and press my fold. I'm gonna come press along my fold, and then I'm going to do enough for one block. You're gonna do 4 for one block. So I'm gonna go ahead and do enough for one block and see if I can't get at least one block done today. I have this time space until like noon right now, so that's what I planned. That's what I planned. What are you guys doing on this Saturday? What are you guys doing? Are you guys ready for the retreat? Are you guys ready? Now, I did not think about it, but I have to be somewhere on Memorial Day. So I may be taking you guys that are on the retreat on Monday. I may be taking you with me. I may be taking you with me. So if you have not signed up for the retreat for Memorial Day weekend, you can go ahead and sign up now. And it is 100% free. You are joining from your own home sewing space or wherever you want to be. Because I might not be in my own home sewing space on Monday. But we're going to hang out and sew and quilt and get stuff done. And whoever's here for the retreat is probably going to get to see a lot of what is going on behind the scenes. So I'm going to have my computer set up kind of where I want it permanently maybe by then. But you guys might get to see me putting fabric away, putting thread away, messing with different stuff. I've got a whole bunch of stuff behind these design walls that's going to have to find a home. Hi Rena, welcome in. She's running late, she says, working on her Illinois shop hop Route 66. I cannot wait to see that. I'm so excited for you to work on that. I want to know what their version of the Route 66 quilt is going to look like, because everybody does something different, and that's kind of the joy of a quilt like this, is even though it is Route 66, and you know, they've got a process to it, there's so many options, so many options. Chris says she has a graduation to attend Saturday, but she'll be there Sunday. That's perfectly fine with me. That's perfectly fine. I look forward to seeing you again. Yeah, so guys, if you have been here for a while, or if you haven't been here for a while, if you want to attend a retreat Memorial Day weekend, come and go as you need. I know not everybody can hang out the whole time. I'm not going to be able to hang out the whole time because I'm going to have to sleep. And my studio space is now out in the garage, so I'm going to have to go back and forth and everything else. So it is what it is, guys. It's going to be an experience, and we're going to see what this experience is going to look like for us. So yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to do all of the things. And eventually I will figure out a way to get my dog to stop grooming constantly. Actually, I just thought of it. I do have a way. I have a remote collar on him to communicate with him and just buzz him. He doesn't like getting buzzed, but it works. Oh, there he goes. He's settled. He's settled, guys. Gotta stop the OCD puppy, because he sometimes is a little too OCD. Alright, so when you're doing some of these, let me move this camera just a hair so I can show you guys what this is going to look like. So the piece that we're covering first, and I'm not sure, I cannot see on my screen, so you're going to have to bear with me. This is your first piece that you are putting in place. It's the C1 piece, okay? This is the line you're going to be sewing on between C1 and C2. So as you can see, this is kind of a diamond shape. It is not a square or rectangle or anything like that. Too much reverb, even if you're close, the gain. My recording interference of software is turned very high. It will, yeah. It doesn't matter what I've tried to adjust it to, Pat. Thank you. But I've tried. I'm just gonna have to experiment with it some and see what settings I can do. But I don't really want to mess with it too much during the live because I don't want to lose sound. There's far fewer. I'd rather have to restart my computer than have to do that. So we're gonna leave it for today, but I will fix it in the future. I promise I will. I may call you for troubleshooting. I may call you. All right. So this is the diamond that we've got to sew in place, and so when I fold back on this line, that gives us a lot more than our seam allowance. In order to line up my next piece, I want to go ahead and cut my seam allowance on this. I normally do have pins, and this is one of the few times that I use pins. So the 2 times that you guys see me use pins is when I am doing binding, and I'm sewing that last little edge of binding, and when I'm doing paper piecing and starting it. Okay, so normally this is where I would use a pin. I would just do a flat flower head pin to pin this piece in place, and then I would come over and trim that. And I've got to look at where my next piece is going and how it's going to lay, because I may have to trim it too. So we're going to see, but I'm going to lay it in place and just hold it. I'm just going to be very, very careful, and I'm going to use my add a quarter ruler with the little lip edge, and I'm just going to hold it in place to make sure that I have that clean edge. So I'm going to take a look real quick and see what my next piece is going to look like on there. And the nice thing is, guys, I now have cutting on one side and ironing on the other, and they are full-size pieces. They're full-size units, so my cutting table is my full cutting table, my ironing board is my full oversized quilting ironing board that I made, and yeah, it's amazing to have this much space. Okay, so now that I've looked at this, I'm going to show you what this is going to look like. So as I said before, I was going to take it and I was going to trim my seam allowance. Okay, so I just held that in place, and it's fairly close to where I held it in place. When I go to lay this down, I'm laying it down on top so I can just take a look, because this is a light enough colored fabric, and it's fairly sheer. It shouldn't be this sheer, but it is. So I'm looking for all of the lines to make sure that this piece is going to completely cover it, and it is. So if you have right side or wrong side, both of these fabrics are solids. They don't have either right or wrong. So I'm just going to go ahead and line it up and make sure that it's in kind of the same spot that I just had it in, and that I'm going to be able to sew that. And I'm going to sew through the paper, guys. I know you can do this without sewing through the paper, and that's what I do with temperature rings, because I use freezer paper for that. But I didn't want to deal with freezer paper on this. It was just too much of a hassle. It's just so much easier to go ahead and do it with the printer paper and not have to worry about it. Who else goes for convenience? Who else goes for convenience like that? I know I do, but I don't know who else goes for that kind of convenience. Who all caught Sean this morning, and who else was live this morning? What content creators have I missed this morning? I've been up for a good bit. I sleep a little bit better at this house than I did at the apartment. So I might actually be able to start catching Saturday mornings, guys. Can you imagine? Can you imagine me being a morning person? I'm still going to be a night owl. Don't get me wrong. That part's not changing. But I might be awake in the mornings going forward. Okay. So let's see. So for those of you who don't know, Tuesday I will be broadcasting from San Francisco. I should be in San Francisco in plenty of time to be able to do my broadcast, my Tuesday night live. What kind of sewing or quilting project do you take if you are traveling? If you're flying, what kind of project do you take with you? definitely have an echo in this room. I can hear the echo. Oh. I haven't decided what I'm taking yet. So I need help deciding what I'm taking. I know things that I need to work on, but do I want to work on those things? No, I don't. I want to just finish up what I got in my brain. I need to finish up what I got in my brain, but I can't take the move with me. It doesn't fit on in a carry-on bag. Whatever I take has to fit in a carry-on. I'm not doing check bags for this trip. So what would you take if you were taking something on a plane, carry-on only? What would you take? Where's your sewing and quilting brain at when it comes to traveling like that? Last time I went to San Francisco, I took a project that I just really needed to measure. I didn't take anything to really work on, but I took something that I needed to measure. But whatever I take this time has to fit in a carry-on, and I have to have more clothes this time than I did last time, so I'll be gone longer. Last time I was gone for 2 nights, and this time I'm expecting 3, maybe 4 nights. So a little bit more clothes. Thankfully it's summery time, a little bit better, or it's a little bit more summery weather than it was last time I flew. So maybe that won't be too awful this time. We're gonna hope. We're gonna hope that the weather's gonna be good. I'm gonna double check and make sure that it's gonna be good before I pack my clothes. So I was gonna make embroidery or pre-cut pieces for a small project to piece together. I might have to grab that from the apartment. I know exactly what I would take if I take something like that. Because that would still be at the apartment. That one would be. Okay. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Because I'm going to be sitting in a waiting room for a while too. So having something like that would be perfect to keep my hands busy and keep me from thinking too much. So that's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. So I might actually have more than one project to take with me. Because I have, do you guys know of Yazzie bags? If I say Yazzie, do you know what I'm talking about? Y-A-Z-Z-I is the brand name. They make some really cool little travel bags and such, and the one that I got, I think it was designed for jewelry, maybe, but I use it for paper piecing. I have a small little octagon paper piecing project, and that fit perfectly in that little Yazzie bag. I do have one that I do use for jewelry. I have a Yazzie that I use for jewelry, but I have one that I use for paper piecing. Oh, you do know what Yazzie is? Yay. Aren't they great bags? I have not seen one ever that isn't absolutely fantastic. Like, it might not be what I need per se, but I don't see like any quality control issues, which you know how hard that is. You know how hard it is for them to mass produce stuff and not have quality issues. But I've never seen a quality issue with the Yazzie bag. At least me personally. I have not. I haven't inspected every Yazzie bag I've seen, but every time I see them, I always double check. Annette loves them. They are so magnificent. And yes, I have bought every one of mine in purple. In case you're ever wondering what color Yazzie to get me a purple one. If you're ever going to get me a Yazzie bag, get me a purple one. I'm not saying go get me one, but if you have a spare that you don't want or don't need, as long as it's purple, I'm happy. Gotta have my favorite color. And that shade of purple is just the absolute best shade. It's just so pretty. Such a pretty shade of purple. Ooh, is something else I could bring to work on. All paperwork by the way. So it's all, you know, it all fits into a spiral notebook, which they do allow you to have on the plane. They do allow you to have that, which is amazing. So I've got all 4 of them sewn, so now I'm just pressing them out. This space is going to take me a while to get used to, guys. It is going to take me a while. I have a couple of ideas of stuff you guys are going to see in the backgrounds of my lives going forward, like how I'm going to set things up, because I do have things up against the wall where you guys are, like up against that wall. I have stuff against that wall already, and it's not in its permanent location, but I think I kind of like where it's at. So I think I'm going to go with that. I think that's where it's going to stay, and I'm really I'm digging it. I'm really digging it. Who also has the fluctuating weather too? Who has the weather that's up and down? We had 90s almost the other day. Gladys, hello, welcome in. Welcome to my new studio space. It is not set up yet, it's not 100%, but we are going to get there. Alright, so this is where I'm sitting at. I have my C1 and my C2. My C2 is really light, but I've got C1 and C2 on here, so now it's time for C3, so I'm going to flip this, and I am going to press against that fold on my paper so that I have a line to cut against. How are you doing this morning, Gladys? It's really good to see you. I've been missing so many people's lives while I've been in the process of moving. I almost watched somebody this morning, and I turned them on for a few minutes. I think I almost caught Donna last night too for a little bit. So I'm flipping through and I'm catching people, but not long enough to hang out and say anything. It's just long enough to realize that they're still out there and still broadcasting. That's where my mind is. Alright, so one thing I'm going to do, since we're already to this point, is after I trim each one, I'm going to go ahead and grab my next piece, put it in place, and go ahead and stitch it in. I'm not going to get all of them trimmed and then come back and stitch. I could, but I'm not going to. I want to go ahead and have these stitched in place as I go. I just feel like that will work really well for me today. Now, if you are, I'm a chain piecer. You guys know that. I'm definitely a chain piecer. It sometimes works really well for me to go ahead and cut everything and then sew in one batch. And then sometimes it helps to cut one piece and sew, cut one piece and sew, cut one piece and sew. So that's what it's going to work for me today. I just know that that's how my brain's going to cooperate with me today. Oh, the chat is going so slow, you guys. I know everybody's busy. I know you are. I'm just glad you were here. I am glad you were here. This is going to be probably a month-long work in progress to move everything into its final spot. You guys can see some of the stuff in the background, like over there. Past my little sign here, you see plastic boxes, and then you see quilts and quilt tops and all of that. So all that's going to be put away. But I've got to have the furniture in here to put it away, and we have all the stuff that couldn't go in the car. So all that got moved. Thank you so much to everyone who helped with that. It was amazing to not have to do it all by myself. I've done that so many moves, and it was nice to have help this time. So if you're watching and you helped, I appreciate you. And but I still have things that can be moved in the car that we didn't absolutely have to move in the moving truck. So now it's a matter of moving all of the small stuff and getting it done. I'm very thankful I have time to do this move this way. If I didn't have time, it would have been a lot more stressful of a move. I would have had to have everything boxed up. And then once we get here, then we have to start unboxing everything. And to me, that is so much extra work. It is so much easier to just move everything that I can all at once and not have to go back and forth. All right. Or well, move all the big stuff. Move all the big stuff all at once. There you go. All right. Sorry, my phone started going off. I know you guys probably couldn't hear it yet, but it was going to get loud. It was going to get loud. I have this one friend that keeps forgetting that I have YouTube and that I'm on YouTube. So, what are your Memorial Day weekend plans? Let's go with Memorial Day weekend first. Do you have plans for Memorial Day weekend? I know Chris says she's got a graduation on Saturday before Memorial Day, and I know some people go visit grave sites on Memorial Day, especially for a fallen veteran or someone that's no longer with us for Memorial Day. So what do you do on Memorial Day? What is your Memorial Day traditions? Is it a family tradition? Is it just something that you do? What is your plans for Memorial Day, and is it a tradition for you? I currently do not have a tradition for Memorial Day yet. So I figure I will end up with one. Thank you. Annette, she says that she's spending her Memorial Day weekend with me. Thank you. Thank you. I feel like I should do the Queen wave or the Princess wave or whatever it is. You know, when they did it when the Princess Bride movies came out, and she had to learn to wave like a princess versus this open-handed, like whatever it was that she did. I feel like I need to do it's a pageant wave, isn't it? Is it called a princess wave? Is it called a pageant wave? Is it the same thing? Because I don't honestly know if it's the same thing. I might have to look into that. What is that special wave called? Because I know it's not the Princess Catherine wave, because you know it existed before she came along. She does it so well. I should totally wave princess style. Here we go, here we go. I'll be there as much as I can on Memorial Day. Oh, that's awesome, Pat, thank you. Annette says same thing. Okay, perfect. Katie, welcome in. My family never had any Memorial Day traditions. It was just another ordinary day. Oh, no, that stinks. That stinks. Elbow, wrist, that's right. Like that. I'll have to work on it. I need to go back and watch that clip from the Princess Diaries. Have her teach me how to do it. I could do it. Oh, you know, another good movie that has them teaching somebody how to do a proper wave, I think, is, oh my gosh, what's the name of the movie? Sandra Bullock was in it, and it was where she went in undercover to root out the assassins, or the assassination attempt at the, what was it called? Oh gosh, guys. She was, Miss Congeniality. Miss Congeniality's movie. I'm so glad. Elbow, wrist, wrist. Elbow, wrist, wrist. Okay. Oh, I feel like that needs to be put in a short. Like I totally need to do a short with just doing the princess wave. Miss Confidentiality. I love that title instead. Oh, and I loved it. I love that. You don't have to change it. I know it's a typo, but you don't have to change it. Miss Confidentiality works really well for me. Oh. Now I'm not going to be able to watch that movie without thinking about that comment too. Oh. I totally need to put a microwave out here so I can do popcorn. And I do have a mini fridge, but it hasn't been moved yet. So that is still at the old garage, not hooked up. Okay, not quite. I'll demonstrate on Memorial Weekend. Perfect. I look forward to that. I look forward to that. I will look for the movies too. I'll look for the movie clips. Because I'm going to sit there and think about that the whole day. Hey, Chris, Katie Crafts is here. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome. And I apologize in advance. My sound quality stinks today. Oh, there's a puppy. There's a puppy. He decided to get up and move around for a minute. He never lays still for the whole time. Get your nose out of my trash can, please, sir. No, sir. You have water, go get your water. We've got to work on the manners during the lives. We got to work on those. What are you doing, bud? He has figured out that I have cables run right now, and so he is intentionally choosing wherever the cables are highest so he can go under them. He's not trying to jump over cables. So there's that positive. He's very good about it. He's very delicate with my cables. I think because he's realized he's been caught too many times in cables because he wasn't paying attention. So I think he's okay with, worrying about these cables for me, so I don't have to worry about them. Oh. I will have at least one block done today, and I do not have my clock up on the wall, so we're going to use my watch and my phone today for time. I cannot see the clock on my computer right now. The monitor is going to have to go a lot closer to me before these lives. I cannot do this long term. Definitely cannot do this long term. It is not comfortable. Not comfortable at all. Now, I will tell you guys a secret. My floor slopes. So I am having to be conscious about which direction my floor is sloping because it's wanting to roll me towards the garage door. It's not super bad, but it's just enough that I can tell. Just enough that I notice that I'm rolling. So if I'm sitting here scooching my chair up, you guys know why now. Alright, so now I've got two pieces attached to each one. Oh, there we go. So I've got my C1, C2, and C3. So now we're going to put C4 in here, and that's going to cover the last of this. Now I am going to go ahead and fold all four of these, and then I'm going to cut them because the piece that's going here isn't actually already a triangle. So the triangle that we're filling in is going to already be a triangle. So they did have you cut that correctly. How are you doing this morning, Chris? Glad you were here. So very glad you're here. It is a Saturday morning, isn't it? It's still chilly here. So the temperature in here has actually risen 2 degrees since right before I started this live. I do have a heater going to help with that because it was 60 degrees and I was a little bit chilled. I could not drink anything cold, I can't be in shorts. I couldn't be in short sleeves. It was just too darn cold. So that's going to be an adjustment to make too, is getting the temperature set in here correctly. I do need to get like a bigger heater, but this one's working just fine for right now. It just takes a lot longer to help. My husband would be sitting here freezing. So it's good that I'm not here instead of him, right? Didn't put the perpetually cold person out in the garage where it can be cold in the mornings or cold at night. Yeah. We are supposed to be getting snow Monday or Tuesday, something like that. I think one report was saying Tuesday, and then now maybe they're saying Monday. I don't know. I haven't looked at it still. So it's gonna be a little chilly out here for a little bit. So I'm still gonna need a heater for another probably a couple weeks or so at least, if not longer than that. And then I'm gonna have to get a heater again after that. An actual big guy heater for the garage. All right. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and trim up. Chris says she's doing good, getting ready to sew the next set of strips for her Bargello. Oh, that's exciting. That's so exciting. I always worry when I get to sewing the long strips that I'm going to get them very wonky because I've done it before. I always worry that I'm just going to end up with something very wonky and have to really adjust it. Let's see. Okay. Husband is asking if I need anything specific from the apartment. We're going to go with no for right now. All right. Just because that's hard to answer while I'm on the way. Oh my goodness. All right. So I'll have these 4 done, and then I need to do 4 of D, the D part, because this is C, so I'll need to do the D part, and there's 3 pieces to put on that, and then we'll be able to assemble the blocks. Provided that I cut my D2 and D3 pieces big enough. I'm hoping that we did, because they're not cut the size that I was told to cut them. And I don't know why I screwed that up. Hi Chloe, welcome in. She says hello Tammy and all. Welcome, welcome. So glad you're here. This is a fun morning. We are piecing together the little bits and pieces that I can and going from there. All right, let's see, going to be a cool and hopefully rainy week. Maybe we'll get more than 5 raindrops. I think we will. I don't know if you will, but I think we will here. It was kind of overcast, but it's not now, so I don't know what is actually going to happen, but I guess we'll find out. I guess we shall find out. All right, now these are the last pieces. I'm just going to sew straight across and sew off the paper. So I'll be using up a little bit of thread for that, but I'm not super worried about it. Let's see. I'll sew all the way off the paper. That way I don't have to go back and do everything else. All right. Lay this down. Make sure it is as centered as it can be over the piece where it's going. All right. Let's see. Okay. What do you guys think of, so Chris and Chloe are new to the space. What do you guys think so far? It's not the way it's going to be set up. I've got a lot of tweaks to do, but what do you think so far? I actually didn't even have the sewing machine over here until yesterday. The sewing machine came over yesterday. Let's see, microphone, a computer, and all of that came over Thursday. And then sewing machine came over yesterday. And then I will get stuff tonight probably, maybe, so I don't have to unload tomorrow, or so I don't have to go load tomorrow. I may go over tonight and go get some stuff, I don't know. Depends on what I feel like doing. Depends on what I feel like. But here we got so much stuff to still bring over, but I have still over 30 days left to go. Signed up for the summer retreat. Good. Chris, thank you. I cannot wait to see you there too. I'm so excited. Yeah, you guys, if you want to come, hang out with yours truly and some other people, then go sign up for that retreat. It is 100% free for you. You do not have to pay anything. And you'll see me, I would say with my hair down, but that's my normal thing. Because my normal thing is to have my hair down. So you guys might see me with my hair up for a change. I might actually put it up for a change. Alright. We're going to just trim. And I'm not going to even trim these to size yet. I'm just going to lay them on the ironing board and work from there. And I do have to fix the ironing board, guys. It got cut in the moving truck. So I gotta fix the ironing board too. Oh, alright, so I need 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Always fun retreats. They are, aren't they? And because I am now in my own space, I can be working on stuff and actually banging tools and using power tools, using screwdrivers, and moving furniture around after 10 p.m. It is amazing. I don't have to stop at 10 p.m. now. It is such a relief. Such a relief. That has been the bane of my existence for the longest now. Alright, so this is the new piece. This is the D piece. So we've got D1, we've got D2, and D3. So I'm going to go ahead and press all of these, fold all of these along the sew line. I'm just going to do the 4 that we need for 1 block. So I'll have 3 more blocks to do after this. And I'm going to have to finagle a little bit, I think, because I don't think I cut my pieces for D2 and D3 large enough. So we're going to play with it. Having your own space is wonderful. Yes, it is, Chris. Oh my gosh, it is. I have been needing this for 3 years, and we finally have it. So I am very, very thankful to have it. Now, do I have to share with, all of the storage we have that's currently out in a garage? Yes, I do. And a lot of that still has to be moved over here. So, my space may go down just a little bit too. But I think all of it will fit. Might be a little snug, but all of it will fit in the space I've allowed for it. And the rest is just, gravy at this point. So we'll see what we have to do. Because I have more than 1 car's width of a garage space right now that I am taking up. So once I know kind of where I can put things, then everything's going to get moved. But I am going to start breaking stuff down and bringing it over and staging it before I completely set things up, because that's going to be another key thing is having it staged, so I know exactly where my things will fit, because they gotta fit. They have to fit. I'm not buying extra storage. We're not doing that kind of mess. We're not doing that again. Alright, so I'm going to lay my piece down wrong side up, because wrong side is going to go against my paper. I'm going to make sure that it's completely covering where it needs to be. And I'm going to go ahead and trim this piece using the ruler, using the add-a-quarter ruler, and make sure that I've got an edge to work with. I need an edge to work with. And so I do plan, my plans right now involve having a camera for my cutting table, a camera for my ironing space, puppy cam, and then my sewing machine cam. I was at a friend's townhouse and we could smell the neighbor's Mary Jane. They have a brick wall and it seems to be porous. Yeah, we almost ended up in a townhouse, and it would be sharing a wall with a family with kids. And the guy said that every time he's been over, he's never heard anything from them. However, my first thought was, just because you can't hear them doesn't mean that I can't hear them. Alright, so my pieces are not big enough. Oh my gosh, guys. And I do not have more of this fabric here at all. I do not have any more of this fabric at all beyond what I cut. So, we are going to have to be creative. Actually, I might have enough to make one of these blocks. Actually, I might have enough to make all of them. Let's see what I got. Let's see what I got here. And worst case scenario, I will sew these together with each other and make them work. Maybe they go to another block. Maybe I can make that happen. Alright, so I need a total of 8 of these, and that's going to give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I can cut at least one block. So we'll have at least one block in the correct fabric. And I will put those others together, like I'll sew them together and make big enough pieces. And that's what I will do to those other ones. I cannot believe I did that. I really did not read what I was cutting because it tells you to cut it as a rectangle and I cut it as a square. Let's see. Yeah, it's supposed to be rectangles. Oops. Oops. So, quilter's error, not the designer's error on that one. Alright, so now I've got my bigger pieces. And those are plenty big enough. I can tell already that that would be plenty large enough. What a mess. What a mess to have cut that wrong. Okay, anyway. Anywho. Isn't it just that says anywho? That's a northern thing, isn't it? Like a New York thing is anywho? I don't know. Who knows where anywho came from? Who has an idea? Because I know I don't. I've heard a lot of people say anywho. I just don't know where that one started. And guys, don't forget to hit that like, thumbs up button, please. We don't have a lot of people watching today. So the more that we get, the likes and thumbs up, the more that YouTube realizes that this is content to push out to more people. Just saying. Thank you. Thank you. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and trim this one. And I'm just cutting the base fabric wrong side up so that it's the correct angle for me to line up my next piece. And I will work on the sound. After the stream is over, that is one thing that I am going to be doing is working on sound to make sure I get all this fixed. Alright. And what I might do here in a minute is we might take a test run on Puppy Cam. And I might turn this camera around so that you guys can see him. If he is still behaving as calmly as he is right now, we'll do that. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and do that. Let's just do it. Alright, so we're going to turn this camera off. Oh, nope, not that. That was the picture. Oh, wrong picture. There we go. Alright, I'm going to turn that camera off and I'm going to transition over. And let me turn it back on and make sure I'm going to show you guys an actual puppy dog versus, you know, any other random thing I can show you. Let's see. I'm working on it, I promise. I know you guys want to see him. You want to watch him behave because he's not always behaving. Alright, there we go. I think. There we go. Can't tighten it, so we're gonna mess with it a little bit. Alright, there we go. Alright, you guys have Puppy Cam now. Oh. Yeah, I couldn't imagine having that smell coming through my walls. We have similar issues at the apartment where we smell what the neighbors are cooking or their laundry. We smell other people's laundry all the time. But thankfully I haven't had any Mary Jane issues that I'm aware of at my building. But we've been lucky for our building. Yes, Chris, yes, puppy Cam. He's happily napping at the moment. He's just hanging out. He is a sweetie, Chris. He absolutely is. He's learning that this is the new studio space. So when I was getting set up this morning, I was of course, making multiple trips, out here and back in the house. And my husband had already left for what he needed to do this morning. And so Paladin was already learning, okay, if we go out this door and Mom's got stuff in her hand, we're going to the garage. And so he was immediately picking up that, hey, we're going over here and this is the door I need to go to. So he was already picking up on that. He's super excited to have a bed in here now too. He does love having the yard. Rita, welcome in. Glad you're here, sweetie. Yeah, he loves having the yard. He was out rolling around this morning, and my husband was fussing at him. I'm like, why are you fussing at him? Because, this is his yard now. He's allowed to roll around in it. Does it mean he's going to get dirty? Yeah. Does it mean he's going to need a bath? Yeah, absolutely. But I can just take him in the house, and I can give him a bath, and he'll be okay. I understand, Rita. I am so sorry about that. She says she's having to turn on the closed captions and can hardly hear me. Yeah, it's bad. I'm sorry. I did not realize that it's not picking up this microphone, but I have no idea what microphone it actually is using. And I would have to close the software, which means end the live, in order to have a chance at fixing it. There is no chance of me being able to fix it right now without going round and round and round and not having you guys on the live when I do it. So once I get off the live, I can fix it easily and get it set up correctly, but the moment that I move the computer again or the moment that I power it off, I may have issues. I may have to restart it again. So I don't know. I don't know if it's going to hold my settings like it should or if it's going to cause me more grief, but I will gladly take that challenge. So Rita, now you can see what my puppy is doing while I'm live too. We'll have puppy cam as long as I have a camera to set it up for or set up for it. I do have another camera or two that I can set up, so we'll do that, something like that. Sounds like it is the mic from the camera instead of the mic itself. Yeah, it probably is, but it won't tell me which one it's using. It's being a pain, so I don't know which one it's using, and I would have to do a full-on troubleshooting session. And I don't want to put you guys through having to watch me troubleshoot it, because that would be a challenge in and of itself. It would be a very, very big challenge. I was having to troubleshoot a TV last night. Mr. Siberian Wind brought over the TV, but I didn't know if he brought over the remote. Well, our TVs, because we're using Wi-Fi for them, for Netflix or whatever we want to watch, we're using Wi-Fi. I didn't know he didn't bring a remote control over, but he did. I just didn't know what box or bag it was in, but he did bring one. But I realized that I could not set up the TV without a remote control. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? There's not enough buttons on the modern TVs to be able to set them up without the remote control. So if you don't have batteries and a remote control, and you don't have the remote at all, you cannot set up a modern TV anymore. And that was so disappointing to me. I was so shocked. So shocked. Alright, so I got all four of them. So now I'm going to press or fold the lines and then press all four of them, and then I'm going to take them over and trim, and then we'll sew all four of them in one row. because once I do that, I can then turn around and trim everything to size, to the lines, and we can get going. Finally assembling this block, and it'll be less than the 2 hours I planned. That's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. Because we are at an hour right now, so we have a whole nother hour I can go before we're running out of time. I did try to change different microphones too, Rita. I am so sorry. I'm glad I had closed captions working. Let's see. Yeah, my computer is still not showing me any options that are going to work. Yeah, it's not. Oh, you know what? Let me check one other thing. Oh, hang on. Let's see. No, that didn't fix it. Okay. Okay, we looked. Oh well, okay. Sorry. I went to look at one more setting, see if there was anything I could do. And there is nothing. There is nothing that the computer will let me do right now. So, how are you doing today, Rita? Is it too hot already there? What's your weather looking like? Are you able to stay cool enough? I do not know how you would be doing the 100 and something degree temperatures. I know you can handle that better than the cold weather, but I just don't know how you do it. Alright. This is going to be a long day for me, now that I think about it. Because once I get done with this, I got like 4 other things going on today, guys. Oh, I just realized it too. Are you guys busy today? What's going on with you guys today? If you are in the chat, what do you have going on today? All right. Once I get these 4 done, then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna sew all 4 of them, but we're going to press all 8 pieces that go together, and then we're gonna assemble the one block, and we'll call it quits for today. We're not gonna go the full 2 hours, if we don't need to. Okay. All right. There we go. All right, we are down to 7 viewers, guys. You sewing counts so much, so thank you. I'm glad you are here. Very glad you're here. I'm not used to being live on Saturdays all the time anymore. So I'm not used to the traffic flow. Oh, good deal. Chris says she is unpacking from a local quilt retreat. That sounds like it was fun. The unpacking doesn't sound fun, but the local quilt retreat, that part sounds fun. That sounds very fun. I have not been to a quilt retreat in a couple of years. Of course, we got the one coming up in September. But it's a work retreat for me. It's very much a work retreat. The air in this room is also very dry, so I'm having to compensate for that too. So who thought I was going to be in my new space today? Who all watched 365 this morning? I know Annette did. watched 365 this morning. I am going to have to take a break from publishing those while I'm working on reorganizing the space here and setting things up, because I can only manage so much at one time. Alright, I'm not going to do all the camera work. I'm just going to rotate this around, trying not to get you guys sick when I do this. So I apologize if I do. Not my intention. There we go. So now you guys can see me, instead of watching a sleeping dog. I mean, you let sleeping dogs lie, right? But yeah, we're not gonna spend all day watching just him. I saw this morning, but not the past 3. Okay, that's okay. This morning is different, isn't it? This morning was in this space. I managed to get that done last night, but I realized very quickly that I need to prioritize getting things moved. So I will record them, but my space will not be, like, I'm not going to post and publish until June. So in June I will do a long video that has the last part of May, the last 15 days of May. And then we'll also have the compilation for all of May's blocks on June 12th for sure. But yeah, so I will still continue to work on them, but I'm going to take a break from publishing just for the next 15 days so that I can get stuff moved and not feel like I'm rushing myself, because I may not get them done on time each day either, because of the travel to San Francisco and all of that. We're not going to film on the plane. It would be kind of bad taste, maybe, because I'd probably get other passengers' faces. I feel like that's what would happen if I took it to San Francisco with me. I would probably end up with other people's faces in the videos. Hey, Lori, welcome in. Happy Saturday, she says. Have you got work out of town? So I am so happy. Oh my God. Well, my husband left this morning to go somewhere, and he's got something this afternoon as well, as my understanding. And so he left, and then he's asking me if I need anything from the apartment, but he waits until I'm already on live, so I couldn't answer him really. I couldn't tell him, what to get or what not to get. So I kind of want him to get all of his office stuff taken care of, because I don't know where he'd want his office things, where he envisions things to be set up, because this is the first time he's had a big office. I'm getting a huge studio, and he's getting a big office. The rest of the house is tiny. His office is not that big, but it's much bigger than any space he's had before since we've been married. So I'm happy that he's able to have that. And I apologize, Lori, about the sound quality for today. I can't do anything else about it. I've tried. I will be working on fixing that. That's on my list. It's on my list. Oh, there we go. All right, so I've got the 4D pieces pressed. So now the 4B pieces, I think it's B, C. The 4C pieces. I need to press them. Oh. Have any of you guys made a tray table into an ironing board? One of those wooden tray tables? Have you ever done that? There's a reason why I'm asking. There is a reason why I'm asking. But have you ever made one of those wooden tray tables into an ironing board? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat. Oh. Sorry about that. Settle. Hey, settle. Thank you. Hey, thank you. Ah, enough. Hey, enough, sir. The smile on your face voice makes up for all the sound issues. Moving is not easy. No, it is not. No, it is not. I think my husband just got home and closed the door. Sir, that's enough. Okay, go hide. Enough, sir. Oh my gosh. Chris says she has not made a tray table ironing board. Yes, Annette, very much puppy. Very much puppy. He is very excited that, yeah, very disturbedly excited that somebody is here. And he doesn't know who or what they are. So yeah, he's very much letting his presence be known. And it's probably just my husband, but my dog can't see that, so he doesn't know what to think. He has many new sounds to learn. He does. So many new sounds. We are kind of worried that there may be a little bit of hauntedness to our house. So I might verifiably live in a haunted house. Because there's one spot that he keeps barking and growling at every so often. And it's not on a set schedule, and it's not related to anything else that we can find. So either there's an animal in the crawl space, which I doubt, or, you know, I don't know what. Katie Graff says she's not made the tray table ironing board. She says she did put a wool mat on top of one for temporary sew station. Okay, the reason why I was asking is when I went to move my small wooden tray table ironing board, I realized something that I had not seen before, and I've never seen it before. The bottom of the wood top has a hole in it, and I feel like it is leaking sap. So I think it is a pine, it was made out of pine, but I think it is leaking sap. And I've never encountered that before, which makes me worry that I'm gonna have to take it apart completely, and trash the top, and just like, you know, take all my stuff off of it, make sure it's cleaned up if there's any sap on it, and make a new one. So I do not currently have a travel ironing board surface. So I have to use my big one. There is no alternatives to that, because I don't know that I want sap dripping everywhere and onto things and onto the floor. And it's the first time I've encountered that. First time for everything. Alright. And in case you wonder, guys, yes, I am still saving all of my scraps. And if you are sending me scraps, I will still take them. I do have spaces for them, or I will have spaces for them. I do have scraps in some of those boxes that you see, the plastic totes and such. A lot of that is scraps. My yardage is still not over here yet. So, yeah, we're getting there. We are getting there. Let's see. Here we go. And we have 1D and 1C trimmed. Oh, we got 2Ds and 1C trimmed. And those go together pretty easily. Alright. So I'm going to line this up real quick, and I'm going to go ahead and sew one piece together. And then as I get more trimmed, I will sew those as well. There we go, and there we go. Yes, that is good enough for me. And I will have to trim paper out of this before I put the whole thing together, I think, because I did not do that last time on this pattern, and it was a little bit painful to trim after the fact, or to pull it out after the fact. So I really hate pulling the paper out before I'm completely done, but I know at least as a seam allowance I'm going to have to. Let's see here, okay, no new comments. I got a lot of projects on my plate, guys. Hey Laura, welcome in. She didn't get the notification. Oh, that really explains a lot of it. Welcome in. Glad you're here. I don't know why YouTube didn't do the notifications. YouTube has been acting up a bit. Somebody else told me that, like on their TV, the notification or the live for today was all the way at the bottom. Like they had to scroll all the way to the bottom of their homepage, even though they regularly watch. They were having to scroll all the way to the bottom. It wasn't up at the top where it should be or easy to access. And so they were going to file a complaint with YouTube. Go right ahead. I appreciate the support. I appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it. Alright, so these two pieces are going together. So that's what we are working on. And I am making sure that I am going the same direction on all of these, so I don't get anything twisted or turned. And I am trying to line up where things hit in the seam allowance so that I don't screw that up either. I want to make sure everything looks pretty. And that lowered stitch length also really helps with pulling this paper out. Makes it a lot easier. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and trim my last two D pieces. Chris says she found a new author and quilter, Carrie Bartling, I believe is the name. She has 2 short novels and companion pattern book. Got the books yesterday. Oh, that's awesome! I wish I had the time and energy to read novels. I have not read actively since my son was little. Like, I can read, but I don't read actively. Like, I don't actively pick up books to read. And part of that's just the way my life changed and everything that goes on in my life from day to day. It can be really hard for me to have time to just devote to reading, but I used to read so much. I used to. But that is awesome. I love when they do have the companion quilt blocks. I do have something that is quilty book series, and it does, I don't know if it has quilt blocks with it. Let's see. Oh, you haven't seen my completed Route 66. This is, oh, there we go. That is not mine. That is the one from the pattern. So Route 66 is not done. So that's what we're working on today. This is the Illinois Star, or St. Louis Star. And this block is the one that is in all 4 corners. So yeah, that's where that one's going. I haven't completed anything in a good hot minute, Laura, so you haven't missed anything. My 365, I am suspending that. So you will still see 365 in June, but I'm basically suspending May, the rest of May, and that way I can get a chance to catch up a little bit, because I am going to end up so far behind at this point. I could still, like I've got, the next several days taken care of, but I'm not going to be able to keep up that pace throughout June, so I figured it was better to not get behind where I feel like I'm behind, and just go ahead and take a hiatus for the last part of May. So you guys will get to see 365 back in June when I pick it back up. So that's how that project is going. It is working. It is just going to be very, very slow working. Just because I've got to get space sorted and created and moved and all of that. It's beautiful either way, says Laura. These past few weeks have been crazy around here. I'm not sure if I'm coming or going. The sentiment is shared. The sentiment is definitely shared, Laura. I'm not quite sure at this moment either. I know I have stuff to do this afternoon and evening. A lot of which will take quite a bit of energy, but I'm not sure what all I can get done before then and what all I can get done after then. So we're gonna have to wing it. We're just gonna have to wing it. As long as I'm not doing it with an injured wing, we're okay. But Tuesday I'll be back in San Fran. So you guys will get to see a little bit of where I'm at in San Fran. I don't know what I'll be doing right before my live Tuesday night, but I will be in San Fran and I will broadcast from there. I should be there in plenty of time to be able to find a place to set up. And then I'm having to move Friday's live with Yuletide Sampler 2 this upcoming week. I'm having to move that to the following Friday. So if you did not see the Facebook announcement or the YouTube community post, I did have to move that. I will not be back in town in time to host that. I can't even do it, like I can't even run it where I'll be because I will be in the air. So I could watch, some things when I have, Wi-Fi signal on the plane, but like one of my planes I will have Wi-Fi signal on, the other I will absolutely not. I already know from the last trip that we took, the plane from here to Denver typically does not have any kind of Wi-Fi service. But it's a very short flight comparatively so, but it's still, I have no Wi-Fi service on that flight. They do not provide it at all. But from San Fran, to San Fran from Denver, and from San Fran back to Denver, I will have signal there. So I'll be on there when I have a chance to, if I don't need to just rest my eyes. But it's gonna be an exciting flight. It's gonna be an exciting week upcoming. So I have After Sunset Sunday tomorrow night, and I'll probably be in the same layout, but I will have my sound fixed as much as possible. And then we will see what I need to do after that. So, okay. So we're going to take these as they are. I'm just going to go ahead and cut them apart. And we're going to pull paper. I'm not even going to wait until I sew the block together to finish pulling paper. We're just going to go ahead and pull paper. I got time to pull paper today. So we're going to pull paper. This is kind of the most satisfying thing about paper piecing, is getting to rip those papers out. Now you want to make sure that when you are ripping your papers, you're not actually pulling your stitches. So make sure you are pulling away from your stitches. If you feel like it's pulling at all on your stitches, reach your finger down to where those stitches are and hold that thread in place. You don't want pulling your papers on your paper piecing project to involve actually ripping your stitches out. That's not the pleasant way to go. That is not the pleasant way to go. So when I'm going to sit here, I can just pull it to the side and it will pull loose. So that's kind of how I do this. So I've got this lifted up a little bit, and I'm just going to hold onto my stitches a little bit and pull away. So even though it's called ripping out your papers, you want to rip away your papers. Gently tear away your papers. And if there's little bits and pieces, you might have to go in with tweezers and get those out. I don't think I actually brought tweezers over. So that's like the one thing I don't have over here yet is tweezers. I will get them pulled over, but I just don't have them over here yet. I know exactly where they're at too. They're just not here. Where they're at is just not here. I do have a couple of surprise pieces of furniture that I have not ever shown you guys, or surprise decorations or such, whatever you want to call it. I do have a couple of those, so you guys will get to see that later this summer, once I can get them set up properly. So I've had, one of them for a little bit longer than the other, but you guys will get to see some surprises in here. You'll get to see, just how I set all this space up. It is a big space, and it's a little terrifying because I'm not used to having this much space. It's a totally new concept. Totally new concept. When I measure it, if we go with my basic measurements, we're looking at about 27 feet by 13 and a half. And I think I'm going to condense down to like maybe 13. Maybe I don't need the full 13 and a half, but we're going to see as I get things set up. So I got a lot of space to work with. How big is your sewing space? If you know the measurements of your sewing room or your space where you have your sewing machine, how big is your sewing space? How small is your sewing space? What kind of space are you working with? I mean, I have worked from a kitchen table where I had to pack everything up every time I got done sewing. I have had a spare bedroom all to myself. I have had just enough space for my sewing machine, and I've had a walk-in closet with all of my fabric. So my table, I couldn't even leave my ironing board up full time. It had to set up and take down every time. I had no cutting table surface either. So my cutting table was either the dining room table, or it was a little mat that I could put on this portable table. See, what other sewing spaces have I had? I did have one of those, who makes them? Maybe Dritz makes them? Not Dritz. It's one of those wooden cabinets. I bought it at Walmart back in the day. Probably quite a few of you know what I'm talking about if you've been sewing any length of time, any steady length of time. They're the wooden cabinets with the swing front door, and when that door is open, then you have access to your foot pedal. Your sewing machine can go underneath it, so it's a regular flat surface when you're not using it. And then when you are using it, that door swings out, and then your tabletop folds out and sits on it. And it's for any brand sewing machine. You just set your sewing machine on top of it. It's not as set in sewing machine like the old style were. So it's one of those. So that was my entire sewing space. How else have I sewn? I think that's the majority of it. Aside from, of course, obviously when I travel places, I have, maybe half of a 6-foot table. So I might have 3 foot of table space. And I set up and, cut, piece, sew, and all of that, but it's not a long-term maintainable option. Not for me, not for as much as I typically sew in quilts. I've actually, with all of this move, I have not sewn or quilted nearly what I normally would. And it's hard. It's hard taking that break and not having that sewing time. So tomorrow night when I tell you guys, make sure you pet some fabric, I mean it. Pet some fabric just for me too. Do some extra fabric petting just for me. Because anything that I don't take with me to San Francisco to work on, again, remember it's got to fit in my carry-on. So anything I don't take with me to work on, I won't have access to for a good several days. So keep me in your thoughts and prayers as I have fabric withdrawal. Oh. I am so sorry that my audio is messed up today, guys. I'm very, very sorry about that. I keep looking at my little gauge for how much my audio is coming through, and I see that it's not getting anywhere near where it normally would, and it bothers me. It bothers me. So I'm also not trying to overtalk either, because I am having to project a bit because obviously this microphone is not catching my voice, and I don't know which microphone is. So we're gonna have to figure it out. We're gonna have to figure it out. Right, this piece and then the back side of this, and then we are all done ripping the papers out. I will press, and then we will sew the last seams. I have 3 sewing bits to do. It is a 4-patch, but it takes 3 seams to sew it together. Who else counts their pieces? Am I the only one who counts their pieces like that? I've always kind of done that, but I feel like I might be strange for that. I feel like I might be a little strange. And I'm still getting over the crud that Mr. Siberian Wind was so gracious to share with me. Alright. No comments. The chat is quiet. It's crickets. It is crickets in the chat. Oh well. I'm confident enough. I know you guys are having to read captions probably. Just being fair. I would not be surprised if you're having to read captions. I know I probably would have to, so. I totally understand. Alright. Does anybody else sew with a concrete floor? That's another good question. I apologize, guys. Okay. Alright, let's get this pressed, and then we'll go from there. Alright, I'm sorry about that, very, very sorry. Got a little bit lightheaded and dizzy. I'm busily munching avocado toast, says Chris. Oh my gosh. Avocado toast sounds good. It does, it does. Okay. Let me turn this heater off. Bear with me, guys. Okay. That knocked the wind out of me. Okay, so this is what our piece is looking like right now. And so I'm going to line 2 of them up. And it's kind of a wonky 4-patch. So just keep that in mind. It's not going to set up necessarily the way you would think that it would. I'm trying to multitask, said Laura. I have to put in my father's laundry done this morning. Oh, that's fair. That's very fair. All right. Let's see. There we go. So it is a wonky 4-patch, so don't overthink it. It's not going to go together straight the way that you would typically think of a 4-patch going together. And I could have increased my stitch length, but I forgot to. So let's go increase that stitch length. Let's just clear it. There we go. Now it's up to normal. Okay, and here's the next piece. Whew. I've got to get some laundry done too. I started some more laundry this morning. And so that'll be when I go back inside the house. I will go on to the next step. There's quite a bit of it to do. There always is when you move. There always is. Alright. Alright, there we go. And I'm going to go ahead and cut that center seam because it may not line up exactly where I think it should. And I'm going to go ahead and press. And I'm just choosing a direction to press. I don't know if in the direction she gives you a direction, but I'm choosing a direction to press. It's amazing to have a full-size washer and dryer too. I have to throw that in there. I have been able to do so much in that washer and dryer, and it takes far fewer loads than it used to. So, I put groceries away, says Lori. Back to bookwork for her. One set of blocks left to do. Oh, that's nice. Oh, one set of books left to do. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I have to do some of that myself today. That's part of what's on my list, is to do some bookwork, some finance stuff. Alright, let's see. I'm trying to get this center lined up real quick, and it's not cooperating with me. So when you take the time to line this up, that center will line up beautifully. So just make sure you have pins handy, which I don't. That is one of the things that I have not brought over from the apartment yet, is I have not brought over any of my pins. Any of them at all. So I will make sure that pins are on the list of things that I bring over next trip. I have some containers that they can all go in, and they can be transported without me having to do a whole lot of extra finagling or wrapping or whatever to get them over here. Alright, we're going to see how I did. In good news, Laura says her brother-in-law was discharged from the hospital. He will be having follow-up treatment, but at least he is home. That is very good news, Laura. That is incredibly good news. There's nothing like trying to heal while you're in a hospital. It is just not a very healing environment. I know that they're trying to heal you, but it is not very healing to be in that environment. Alright. I'm just going to press this seam one way for right now, and I'm going to come back and flip it, twist it, what have you, later. Because I've got 3 more of these to do. But, you guys ready? You guys ready? Let's see. I do not have the design walls attached to anything yet. So, yeah. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Is that looking like the block in the pattern? It's supposed to be the corner blocks. So what do you guys think of that? This is the St. Louis star for the Route 66 quilt that you see posted up right there. Mine is kind of dark because I don't have good lighting on it. I will be fixing the lighting too. That's the other challenge that I've got. So I've got to fix lighting. But I'm not going to do any other blocks today. I have 3 more of that block to do, but I'm going to have to piece some fabric together to be able to do them. And I only allotted 2 hours to do this anyway, so oh, the chat's so quiet. That's such good news, Laura. That's incredibly good news. Thank you. Laura says it is beautiful and she loves it. Thank you very much. Don't look too closely. Definitely don't look too closely. This quilt is going to need some TLC from me for mine. I'm being a little haphazard with it. and I need to buckle down and work a little bit better. All right, well guys, I am gonna go ahead and get off of here. Thank you so much for hanging out on this wonderful Saturday morning. I am very sorry about the audio issues. I will work to get those fixed before tomorrow night. So my next live will be tomorrow night for After Sunset Sunday, so 8 p.m. Mountain Time. You don't want to miss it. I'm going to see what I can do about, of course, getting everything updated and get things settled a little bit more. And I don't know which project I'm working on. I might be working on Gnome Sweet Gnome this Sunday. We're gonna see, but I do have it here with me if we are working on that. So guys, thank you so much, and I will see you on Sunday night. Until then, have a great Saturday, have a great weekend, and until next time,